for the first time in my career, I am concerned. I'm concerned for the Tucker Carlson fans. I'm not religious, but I'm going to ask my wife to pray for them. Because I think they're going to end up like the hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, all of them, by the time they get old, they're going to have broken backs. Because they're carrying so much water for Tucker. It's insane. I'm going to play a video, and then you can tell me if you could carry water for him in this situation. Because God knows I can't, but God also knows that there are millions of people that do. So, I want to point out that I actually agree with Tucker Carlson in the first half of the video, right? Like, he has a point. Let's listen to it.
How can a sovereign person be underwater in debt? Well, of course you can't. Because when you owe more than you can immediately repay, you're effectively owned by the person to whom you owe the money. So debt is an attack on sovereign.
Debt is an attack on sovereign. I agree. He is absolutely correct. I do not disagree with anything up until now.
And it's important to say that because no one ever does.
No one does. Like, no one before Tucker Carlson, not even Jesus Christ, has talked against usury. Right? Like, but now we have Tucker, and he is lecturing to people that if you own more than you have, you do not have sovereignty. You're a slave.
And so you kind of move around this society and hear people talk about their credit scores. If it's a significant measure of something, got to have a good credit score. What are you really saying? You have to be worthy of losing your sovereignty to a bank, to a moneylender? So debt is, of course, and this has been noted in previous societies, really since the beginning of time, a form of slavery.
It's a slavery. Like, he's not exaggerating. He's very clear, right? When you go to the bank and you make a loan, you become a slave. It's not chattel slave. He's not saying it's like that. But, like, you're not your own person anymore, right? It's a sin as well. Usury.
You do not have control over your life when you owe money to people. Well, of course.
Right? You can't fuck your wife when you want. You can't take the kids to whatever school you have. You lost control over your life if you make a debt. You think I'm joking? I agree with him. Like, the first thing that I did when I made a debt for my house was to repay it as soon as possible, right? Like, I agree with what he's saying. You should not, you should live your life and avoid, as much as possible, taking debt from the bank.
It's unavoidable in America, unless you're very rich or extremely disciplined beyond what the average person can be expected to maintain. You're going to be in debt. It's hard to do anything without debt. But is that good? Why are we participating in this?
Right? So, like, Tucker himself has participated in this. He noticed other people participated in this, and then he got them all in the same team and asked, why are we doing this? And people were, I don't know. And, like, Tucker's like, but we should stop because we're slaves.
Why are we accepting this as the natural order? It's the...
Why are we accepting it, right? So, like, everyone is accepting. Tucker was accepting. But now he has woke. He has woken up. He's not accepting it anymore.
Most unnatural thing ever devised. And it's bad. And that's why every major religion acknowledges that it's not just unhelpful.
Right? It's sinful. You thought I'm joking, but not. Like, now it's the Bible. Like, it's not Tucker saying it. It's the Lord. The creator of the universe. Who created all the stars. And all the planets. And all the galaxies. Has decried that, no, like, the banks. Sinful. Wait a little bit, because I'm going to get to my point. Some of you may cringe. I know, you may cringe. It's like, V, you're mocking the man. He is speaking wisdom. He is. But wait until the end. Like, trust me, it's really good. Just do me a solid, right? Just don't stop watching until the end.
It's sinful. So it might be a good starting place to say that a society organized around debt at the sovereign, at the national level, but on the personal level.
Right? So, like, the United States of America, 350 million people, they're not organized around the Constitution. They're not organized around their powerful military that can stuff their dick down the throats of the Iranians. They're not organized around anything else besides debt. And Tucker Carlson is here to sound the alarm.
Level is not a healthy society because it enslaves people. And it's interesting that when you do say that, And if you're ever to use the U word, usury, which is lending money at interest, which is banned.
Usury, lending money on interest, which is banned.
Has been banned in many countries throughout time because it is bad. Even mentioning that puts you on some list, at least in the minds of the people you're talking to.
So Tucker is now on a list. Like, we're all on a list because we mentioned usury bad. And now we happen to be on a list. You know, like, why can't we be like other countries that don't allow usury? Like, I don't know, Somalia, right? Which nation in 2026 doesn't allow usury? China? No, you can lend money in China, right? The definition of usury that Tucker is using is the actual definition that Christianity has used for 1,700 years until the Danes decided we need to stop this. Lending money with interest, using money to make more money was usury, period. Tucker is right. But like in 2026, I don't think there is a single nation on planet Earth that bans the concept of lending money. They regulate it, but I don't think like they ban it, right? Tucker is saying like, why are we allowing this? And I agree with him. Why are we?
Like a crazy person, if not a dangerous person.
Our friends at American Financing have a better way. They're helping homeowners use their hard-earned equity, and they're supporting Americans looking to fulfill the dream of owning a home with mortgage rates currently in the 5s.
Taka! Taka! What are you doing, Taka? You're endangering people's souls, Taka! You're going to get your audience to burn in hell! They're going to be next to Satan! You're going to be the shaitan, Tucker. You're being demonic right now. Like, how could you do this, Tucker? Like, for 2 minutes you have spent convincing people that it's a sin, right? So, like, when you're lending money, you're going to fucking hell. You're burned, Tucker, for all eternity. You burn in pitch and hellfire. Jesus was very clear on this, right? Money lending bad. And now you're like, American Finances saves its customer an average mortgage of $800 a month. Explain to me, like I'm a cretin, Tucker, how this makes sense. Because surely you had other sponsors to pick from. You're not just some nobody. You're Tucker fucking Carlson. Everyone knows about you. I'm pretty sure like sponsors are lined up. Pretty sure you charge some exorbitant rates. And you couldn't choose anyone else besides the slave owners? Why do you want your people to sit, Tucker? Why do you want your audience to get enslaved? Or maybe, you know what? Maybe Tucker is like God, you know? He's trying to mimic Jesus. This is a test. And Tucker Carlson works in mysterious ways. He wants to see if you internalize his teachings and you can now resist the temptation of getting a house, right? Because, like, the temptation is not a sin, but if you actually listen to Tucker, is this the logic we're going with? This is why, and I want people to understand, when I'm upset at digital Christians, this is how I call them. I view them with the exact same contempt that I view televangelists. I'm not saying all Christians, and in fact, I'm not even saying the majority of Christians, right? I actually know Christians in real life. I'm friends with a priest. I know the Christians that community build, that mind their own business, that focus on their families and relatives, that donate to the community. I have absolutely no problem with them. I prefer them as neighbors, and I don't bother them. The thing that I have a problem with is the Christians, the online, right? Like the online Christians, like Tucker Carlson, that constantly moralize and lecture others and start speaking with we, right? They're kind of like a trans person speaking with we, with they, them pronouns and we. And worse off, they get really upset when you doubt their Christianity. They get as upset as a trans person when you doubt they're a woman. It's like they're a Christian for me. It's not like they're a Christian for them. No, like they're a Christian for me so that I recognize that they're a Christian and so that they can moralize to me about what bank loans can I make, what websites and movies and anime I can watch. Literally all they fucking do, right? And then you look at what they do, like what are the actions of them, how are they behaving, and time again, they do not disappoint. Literally, the sin they are condemning. If they're upset about gambling, you find out that they gamble. If you notice that they're condemning pornography, you find out that they watch some of the most sick and degenerate porn alive. And when I saw Tucker Carlson complaining about usury, I was like, there's no fucking way. You know, like, come on. No. But apparently, he is promoting usury. Why is this happening? Like, someone needs to explain it to me. Like, time and time again, I keep seeing it. And If I see a single content creator that converted to Christianity after 2024, I don't fucking believe them. I don't fucking believe. I don't know what happened in 2024. I think it's like the bandwagon, when it's like, oh, now you can get the Zoomers on board, you know, like you can pretend to be a Christian, and so like they come to you, which is fair enough. But why should I believe their conversion as sincere? If someone converted to Christianity on 2023, 11:59 December midnight, I believe them. Like, okay, fine, maybe they did find Jesus. Anyone that converted after 2024, I assume that they didn't. I assume that they're only claiming. And Tucker Carlson is like the guy that constantly talks about the Bible, constantly preaches shit, and then he promotes usury. Why? And not to mention, like, I don't believe that he is this mentally retarded. You cannot have a mother nation state with 300 million people without financing. Like, banking actually creates jobs, right? Like, if you remove the banking system, people start lending money to each other, and then you get actual loan sharks. Many people have realized that, yes, and even Aquinas, like, since we're on Christianity, I'm not a Christian like Tucker, but, like, you can look who Aquinas was. He is cited in both Catholic teachings and Orthodox teachings. He's a very respected person. Lived in 1200. But Aquinas talked about vices. And what he noticed is that if you ban the vice, you make it worse. You create problems elsewhere. If you regulate the vice, society becomes better. And he compares vices to the sewers of a palace. He talks about brothels. Brothels existed in Europe for a long time. And so he's basically saying, like, why do we tolerate brothels as Christians? Because they did. Like, there were brothels literally on church grounds, right? And the church would tax the brothels. And the question was, like, why do we tolerate them? And he said, Aquinas explained that they're like the sewers in a palace. They smell bad, they're disgusting, but without them, the palace floods. Without the brothels, you get more vices. Ban the brothels and you have a society dominated by lust. Now, that was a person from 1200, right? And the same thing can be applied to usury. If you ban usury, then people start either lending to each other, or they find a group of people that aren't Christians that are willing to lend money, and then you're giving power to those people. Tucker knows this, right? Tucker knows a lot of things, but for some reason, he's pretending to be a retard. Why? Because that's what appeals to his audience. And seeing people carry water for him and trying to say, no, like, that's not the usury he means. He was very specific. And the definition of usury in the Bible is also so specific that for 1,700 years, Christians have followed it. Lending money with the purpose of getting money back with interest is a sin. Period. The Bible is very clear on this. Now, because people want to sin and then they want to justify the sin, that's fine. You know, like, I'm not judging. I understand how things work, right? But the Bible is clear. So when Tucker Carlson says, no, I actually believe this, like, this is a sin, fair enough, right? Now, some people can say it's a little sin. Other people can say, well, it is what it is. Or other people cope and say, well, actually, it's not a sin. Like, only if you do it in such and such way. That's not what the Bible says, right? Now you're negotiating with God. You're becoming like a Jew, which thinks that dragging a wire around New York means that you're rules lawyering God. No, if God is real, usury is a sin, right? If you made the bank loan, you sinned. Go and confess, right? Like, Christianity is not like Judaism, where you cannot wash away the sin. You can. Go and confess. Do the Hail Marys or whatever religious affiliation you have and how they deal with that. But at the same time, right, you can't say you're a good Christian and start promoting, the fuck is this? American Homeowner Association, and talk about mortgages and loans right after your sermon that, I mean, right. I'm just saying. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.